This is literally the single most powerful practice you can use if you're going through a spiritual awakening. And if you're wondering what third eye meditation is and why you should do it, in this video, I'm going to give you everything you need to know, including its benefits and who in particular should be using this practice. And at the end, I'll share a super simple third eye meditation technique that you can use anytime, anywhere, without the need for headphones or a guided meditation track, so you can accelerate your awakening exponentially. Okay, so what is third eye meditation? Very simply, it's a practice which stimulates and strengthens the third eye here in the middle of your forehead. Now, the third eye is invisible to us in this dimension. It's part of the energy body, but it's connected to the physical pineal gland, which is the part of the brain designed to interface with the third eye. So you might hear people using the terms third eye and pineal gland interchangeably. They're actually two parts of the same system, but it doesn't really matter. Okay, so the third eye is the primary tool of the conscious mind, or the earthbound soul. That's the bit of you which has incarnated in your body for this lifetime. Now, the more you develop your third eye, the more conscious you become. That means you reduce the power that the lower mind has over you and your thought patterns. And the lower mind is made up of the body, the subconscious, and the unconscious, the ego. So when you reduce their hold, that means you're able to live your life in a more focused and intentional way. So that's one of the benefits of third eye meditation. It is really effective at helping this consciousness shift. It raises your consciousness away from the lower mind, up into the zone of the conscious mind, and then finally beyond that, up to the superconscious mind or the higher self. Outside of this process, the third eye has two main functions. First of all, it is the mechanism which allows us to communicate between the dimensions. It's a transmitter and a receiver of telepathic communication. Secondly, it's our tool of manifestation. It broadcasts our desires to the universe, or at least whatever it thinks our desires are. And obviously, the more conscious and intentional we become, the more we can control what it is we're asking the universe to deliver. So when you practice third eye meditation, you are doing all of these things. You are strengthening your conscious mind, you're opening up channels of communication, and you're manifesting with clarity. Should you be practicing third eye meditation? Well, the answer is almost certainly yes. And as I promised, I'll show you an easy way to do it at the end of this video. But first of all, let me explain when during the spiritual awakening process you should absolutely, definitely be using this practice. As a spiritual awakening coach, I spend time with people at all stages of awakening, and I always recommend third eye meditation for people who are in the very early stage of awakening and the connection stage of awakening, which is sort of early to mid. It's the perfect tool for shifting the consciousness upwards and starting to establish this communication with your teams. And the reason I know that you should almost definitely be using third eye meditation is because around 85% of awakeners are currently in one of those two stages of awakening. Plus, if you've been drawn to research third eye meditation, then that's even more of an indication that you should be using this practice, even if you are not consciously aware that you're on the awakening path, which, by the way, is completely normal in the early stages. Okay, so in just a moment, I'm going to show you how to practice third eye meditation. But before I do, I just want to address a common question I get asked, which is third eye meditation dangerous? Well, there are a couple of things you want to watch out for, which I'm going to explain in a moment. But no, third eye meditation isn't inherently dangerous. However, it is powerful. So that's why you need to keep an eye on things, no pun intended. First of all, you're strengthening your powers of manifestation. So if you're not practicing positive thinking, mindfulness, and acting with awareness, then there is a possibility that you might accidentally create some negative realities. If you find this is happening to you when you're practicing third eye meditation, then you can just pause for a while and work on those aspects first. Work on your awareness, work on your positivity. Secondly, you're opening up a channel of communication with the wider universe. That means that you'll potentially pick up messages from entities which aren't your guides, especially if you're clairaudient. Now, this isn't dangerous per se, but it does mean you need to apply a filter and you need to examine the messages you're receiving. You kind of should do that anyway. Anything you get during meditation is typically safe because meditation is sacred. But if you're hearing voices outside of meditation, especially negative voices, then make sure you learn how to detach from them and rise above, because otherwise they might start to affect your thought patterns and your behavior, which is what they're trying to do. And now, as promised, here is a simple technique you can use, which is the same technique I teach my clients. And if you watch right to the end of the video, I'm going to share a little known tip which will help you receive messages from your team more clearly if you use it alongside your third eye meditation practice. Okay, so you can do this anytime, anywhere, lying down, sitting or standing, but I recommend that you start every single morning with a quick third eye meditation, lying in bed as soon as you wake up. You only need to do this for a few minutes every day for it to be beneficial, and if you can do it a few times throughout the day, you will see results very, very quickly. You'll know when it's starting to work because you're going to feel a wincing or a pinching sensation in your pineal gland as the third eye activates. Okay, so all you need to do is just close your eyes. Start with 3 deep breaths from low down in the belly. This is a signal to your system that you're going into meditation mode, and it also helps calm the lower consciousness. Now, just make sure your body is completely relaxed. And if you want to test how relaxed you are, check in with your jaw. If your jaw is clenched or tense, then you need to consciously release it. Then the rest of your body should follow. Once you're relaxed, put all of your awareness in your third eye here. You can point your eyeballs towards this area to emphasize to your system that this is where you want the focus to be. But you need to make sure your physical eyelids are closed. Now visualize a bright light piercing the area of your third eye. It's a transmitter and a receiver, so you want to imagine the light going in both directions, stretching from inside your head through the third eye and out into the universe. With visualizations, it's good to go with the flow, so feel free to use whatever images pop into your mind while you're doing this. They'll be coming from your team. For example, when I used to use this meditation, I used to get an image of a shining diamond that would pop up in the third eye area, and that symbolized strength and clarity. Now, at this point, you can also use a mantra if you want, such as "My third eye is powerful and strong." You just keep repeating the phrase for the whole time that you're meditating and holding this image in your mind. A mantra is particularly useful if you get a lot of monkey mind chatter that's coming from lower mind. It closes it out and it just prevents it from getting a toehold. All you need to do is just keep going like that for ideally 5 minutes, even 10 minutes. When you become aware that your mind has wandered, you just gently pull your attention back to the third eye. Now, if you're new to this practice or you're early in your awakening, your attention definitely will wander. It's just part of the process. It's important not to get frustrated because you're learning a skill. It's a new skill. It takes time like any other skill, and it's as simple as that. So you can do that really simple, easy third eye meditation anytime. When you're waiting for a kettle to boil, you're stuck in a queue, you can just slip into it for 30 seconds because all of those little bursts of activity add up. And here's the little known tip that I promised. If you burn essential oil of myrrh while you're meditating, it will temporarily open up the communication channel even wider, and you will find it easier to receive messages from your team during your practice. This is super important during awakening because your team are the people who know exactly where you are in your journey. They've got all these statistics that they're looking at. They know what you need. And you can find out more about spiritual awakening in this playlist.